All right, so I'm going to show you four different variations of the code we can write for this second character in our Scratch game. Now, four different versions because there's a lot of different things we can do with this character that might make it interesting or fun for us in this game. So it depends on how we're going to write this game, and you can choose from any of these four different varieties, or you can come up with your own. First thing I'm going to do though is move the crab. I'm going to move him down here into the uh, bottom left corner of my screen. I'm doing that just for appearance purposes and for some gameplay reasons. I want to give my cat a little bit of a head start if I'm chasing after him with the crab. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to events, and we would use a when flag clicked, but remember we set up that screen. We set up our screen to change, our backdrop to change when we click that flag. So I'm actually going to choose that as an event. So when backdrop switches to is the event I'm going to use to control my crab's motion. So when the backdrop switches um, to backdrop one, right? When it switches to backdrop one, then I'm going to do the crab motion, right? So the first thing though I'm going to do with my crab is I'm going to set him to where I want him to start. And if you look down here, you can see that my X and Y position, -172 X and -163 Y. If you look over here, not surprisingly, this go to block is set on those coordinates because that's where he is right now. So that's actually what I'm going to do first. I'm going to make sure that whenever this game starts, he goes to the same place every time. I've noticed that this crab rotates based on some things that happen in this game. So I want to make sure that the crab is in the position that I like to see him in, like he's just walking like a crab, right? So I'm going to make sure point in direction 90 is also one of the things that happens right away as soon as the game starts. The last thing I want to do before I get started is in control. I want to wait a little bit before he starts chasing after the cat. So I'm going to bring in a wait, and I'm going to change that from 1 second to just half a second. So 0.5 seconds. He's going to wait half a second before he starts to chase after the cat. So those are setup things. Now I want to actually get into the code that's going to make him actually do the work, right? Right. So far, all I've really done is make it so that he starts in the same place, looking the same way every time we start the game. He's going to start there, and then he's going to wait before he starts moving. What I'm going to want here is a forever loop, and we'll talk later about how we might change this from a forever loop to something else. But I want to do the same thing forever and ever, because if I just do it for a little while, he's going to stop doing it after, and I want him to go after this cat the whole time. So I'm going to go back to motion, and I'm going to do something that's pretty simple, really. I'm going to bring in a point towards, and I can change from point towards mouse pointer to point towards sprite one, and that's going to make him go point at sprite one. And once I've made him point at sprite one, I can bring in a move 10 steps, and I'm going to change that to move 5 steps so that my cat's going to move a little faster than the crab. And now I've got motion that should work. So if I click the flag, you see my screen stops, and the crab is chasing after my cat, and he's chasing and chasing and chasing. And that's kind of what I want. He goes a little crazy when he catches the cat. So we could talk about some code to fix that, and we will soon. But for now, we've got something that seems to work, right? So that's good, and way to go.